Hello and welcome to this Tarkov chat. Now, this episode we'll be talking what new players should be doing, old players, general Tarkov things. And whilst we do that, playing a recording that I'm pretty sure I didn't make a video of. I just record pretty much every raid I do since I am a content creator. So it is a raid. I'm being a blueberry, so just context of what we are watching in the background for the video part. Now, Tarkov event, obviously all the bosses are highly active. Now, I'm not sure when the event's going to end. Time zone wise, I believe I'm 12 odd hours ahead of BSG and that. And so I still got the bosses active even though it's after my weekend. But I expect the spawn rates to go down once the weekend for BSG is over. And they tend to be European time, obviously BSG time. But European time is what they seem to do a lot of updates for. So if you're worried about anything like that, if there's a patch update or whatever, generally it's the end of Asia time, like 5 p.m.-ish, or early morning Europe and American time. So if you're ever worried about when they're going to do things, it's generally so the people in Australasia and Europe, the Middle Eastern Europe side is about end of the day, so there's a day play, and for content creators and stuff as well. Based on when they do it, I'd say that's why. And before content creators start doing their stuff for the day, Europe and America wise. So if you're ever worried, that's one thing that they will seem to keep in mind. So you'll be able to play during the day, or if you play during the day and you might not be able to play at night if you're a 9-to-5er. Or events might end when you can play. So do keep that in mind. You may have to set aside time to play events like just happened, where the bosses do spawn all the time. You can do quests around it, but the guards and all that obviously aren't fun. Now, what should you do this late in the wipe? And seeing as what I think, and I said in a previous video, around October-ish is probably the earliest wipe we'll get. So that leaves a lot of months left. Now, that would be, was it June, July, yeah, like 4 months. You could end up with the rest of the wipe. 4 to 6 months. So you shouldn't not play if you're a player that's going to buy the game or a player that's brought the game. And regardless of where you are, you shouldn't stop playing the game, because it'll be 4 to 6 months before you get a wipe. Now, for new players, focus on the skills. This game is not like FPS games that everyone else played. You play PUBG, come in here, you'll get annihilated, and it's like, oh, cheats, blah, 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 even though there's scabs killing you. Because the way BSG has this is completely different, and bullets don't fly straight. Now, the bullet drop and all that, and different bullets, you got to learn a lot. Even as a established player, they're constantly changing everything. You've got to learn the bullets and the bullet drop and what bullet you should be using when. So a old hand player obviously will have it more in their head, but you got to constantly remember what bullets go with what gun and what rank those bullets are for what you're doing. just having a load of good bullets, say you got AKs, so you got the BT, the BS, the 7 and 40, the Igolnek. They're obviously your top tier. But you don't want to be running in factory with a bunch of Igolnek or 7 and 40 just to run into a bunch of campers, overgeared guerrillas, Tagilla, snipes you with a shotgun from 40, 50 meters away. That is not good use of resources because you won't penetrate people's armor really anyway. Shotguns, yeah, everyone uses shotguns, but they're actually not. They're the cheapest thing you can do. You spend all your money on ammo and you run shotguns in factory. That's why people do it, it's cheap. What you should be doing if you're trying to work out how to go about things as an established player is getting a SMG or something that fires a lot of bullets really quickly. And what bullets can you afford that are or buy or whatever, barter? Not necessarily your craft bullets. They take too long for you to just lose it like that. You'd rather keep them for like the resort or on reserve, the underground where the raiders spawn, where everyone goes. You want to keep it for that. You want the highest tier you can barter or buy, not your crafts. And if you can't do your factory with that, then that's something you can work on for the next 4 to 6 months. Now I'm talking even the MP NCAT, the real tiny one that like fits in 2 slots. I killed Tagilla with that as a pretty much fleshling. So if you can't, then you need to work on that because I unloaded an entire clip of, I only had like level 2 traders, an entire clip in his torso. Yes, he might have been injured and armor slightly dinked because he was going around the factory. But yeah, I took down Tagilla with that. You don't need massive things. I've killed Tagilla with shotguns, with flechettes. Obviously it's a lot easier because a lot more damage to the legs and you don't have to worry about it. But you have to consider the actual bullets that you use, the damage it causes, or the penetration. Now flechettes go through armor, they don't do much damage. So that's where the leg and arm meta still exists. It's not really a meta because someone with a vector or something that fires like a vector, some SMG, will kill you before that you kill them, or you'll trade off. Because you go bang, bang, they've just gone whole clip into you, and it does not matter whether it's 30 bullets in a second or 30 bullets in a minute. The amount of bullets per piece of armor is all that matters. So you could be wearing class 5 body armor going in, they just go, and if they have good enough pen to go, say 1 in 4, 1 in 5 bullets goes through you, the damage will be 50 plus damage. So you're talking around 150 damage to your chest, which you can't take because it will spread out to the other limbs. The body armor will, yeah. There are more factors in this game than just, okay, get top armor, get top bullets, get top gun. Because more people kill you with bad bullets or bad guns than with good. Because most of the ones with good guns will be sniping you or shooting you with a rifle from 100, 150, which is obviously close to a sniper range, but you can easily get about 100 meters away down the road and they're just crossing over to go to somewhere else. So the more than likely is some person crawling around the map with basic gear, basic guns, basic bullets, and just going and killing you, and you getting all cranky because they had no right to kill you, but that's how the game rolls. Now, new players and learning all that, it goes with it. Old players need to get precise at this as well. Scavs and players are more dangerous up close than far away. Because of the whole math and percentage and statistics, you can't have an accurate number of the distances and all that because it's a random chance. But the closer you are, the less drop off the bullet has. You could have a bullet that goes through class 5 and shoot that bullet at 40-50 meters away, and it doesn't penetrate like you expect because of bullet physics of the game. So get good at shooting at distance of 40 plus meters, which as a new player is good because you have quests that force you to go longer. Even as a established player, you'll have quests that force you at a longer distance. Get your daily quests done that are easy. Do not focus on getting PMCs. Even as an established player, don't go, I'm going to do PvP. Go to a place where PvP is likely if you want PvP. Don't go to factory unless you like that sort of thing. That is, yes, high likely of PvP. No, that is not a good way to work on your PvP. That's a good way to work on your mental capability of losing gear or stress of the action, and it's not where you should go for PvP if you've got a quest or something. Unless you're just running out of options or something. Like, it has its purposes, but I would not recommend going to factory for PvP to complete quests. I say that because you will lose more money unless you obviously get a good lobby where you don't have overgeared gorillas. Because if you go in all geared up, then yeah, fair enough. But that takes one loss and you'll spend the next 10 raids on other maps trying to get back what you lost. Go to somewhere, we'll use this as an example. It's got a good PvP area, which is the resort. Go there in daylight, usually not dawn, not sunset daylight, dead set daylight. Go to the resort. If you do not see or hear anyone, take out any scavs obviously, loot the place. Go around and loot the place. Obviously keeping an ear out for people. But even as an established player, too many times, just for highlight reels and all that, people focus on the PvP and then, oh look, I've killed like 3 PMC, team of 3. Then they got to leave because of the med situation and everything. And they walk out with virtually nothing. Because they were so focused on getting that highlight thing, they walked through the entire building, they sat in a corner, did nothing. And then a scav comes in on their scav raid, and they find lead X's, they find key cards, they find all these good things that you left behind because tunnel vision. Every single raid, you should be focusing on looting, regardless of whether your quest is PvP or not. Because the PvP will come. You cannot decide how the PvP comes or where it comes. You can control the looting aspect. So in Resort, it's massive for the lead X's and all the valuable spawns. That's why people go there, and you got to watch out for the boss obviously, but he tends for me to spawn more towards the cottages and the pier than up there, but it could be just that's how random decided that it's going to work. But you got the resort on shoreline, reserve underground with the raiders. You can do looting and stuff for that. You can go near the helicopter. A lot of people go there for the weapons and the boss. The lighthouse, I wouldn't really go for PvP. Unless you're getting a long sniper shot PvP and sitting in a corner watching that road for the entire raid. Because you are not guaranteed, and people move in a way that stops it. So your distance shot will have to be 200 plus meters, pretty much guaranteed. Then you have, obviously, factory. I talked about factory. Then we have customs. Not really a PvP map, depending on the time. You can't guarantee the PvP, and more than likely it's a bunch of people sitting in a corner. Very rarely do you find people going in and out of the buildings. I have come across people clearing buildings, but mainly they're in teams, so if you're solo, you don't want to go to dorms. The skeleton and construction generally have someone watching it, or up there if you're moving through. They won't stay out there because you can get shot from too many angles. Fortress, only if you're a team. And you'll find rats and even like mid to high levels sitting around the bus station bit of the crack house, and they'll just sit there and not move. And yeah, so customs, you don't really want to go to do PvP because it's not a PvP that you will like. If you like that sort of PvP, then fine, but that sort of bang bang, you shoot, I shoot sort of thing is not what customs is for anymore. Only the start of the wipe you'll find that sort of stuff, or if there's an influx of players come a, not necessarily update, because we didn't really see any with the last update. Maybe if BSG doesn't reset come October-ish, when they do a big launch, then that PvP aspect will be there and be like shooting fish in a barrel for some. So pretty much you want to go to the resort, which capitalizes on loot and your PvP. And if you go at night, you'll possibly run into cultists, get their stuff, and you can't hear them. They are designed to be quiet and stealthy and all that, so do keep that in mind. You might walk into them like a buzzsaw. And they rarely travel alone. They'll usually be two grouped together. And obviously there's like 4 or 5 of them in total if you get a whole party. Now, new players also, more than established, work on shooting without a sight, shooting at range without a sight, because if you can get a headshot on someone without a sight, say a SKS, you're shooting down the sights, iron sights, and you are going to shoot headshot, and new players only aim for headshots or center mass and unload bullets. This game is about how many bullets did I land on you, not the CSGO style quick flicks and headshots. It's all about putting bullets on target. Unload a clip per person if you have to. Don't ego it. Unload a clip per person. If you even scabs, if you are having trouble killing them, by the time they kill you, you are not putting enough bullets in them, or you are too inaccurate. Now, obviously, inaccuracy is a big part of it, blah, blah, blah. But generally, if you put more bullets on target, even just generally, you send a master shot, it goes vertical, it cops a headshot. So you are not putting enough bullets per target if that recoil is not going center mass to head. Now, obviously, as you get better, more accurate, you can just go head, 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 or body, 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 or whatever you want. A lot of the time you'll see higher level players, they'll actually go legs because you can't run. So if you've got a dead leg, you either have to do surgery or you have to hobble away and they can chase you down. They don't want to actually engage you fairly. It's all tactics of warfare type thing, but technically it's unfair, but yeah, semantics. So yeah, you'll get shot in the leg a lot. Scavs will shoot you in the arms and legs. Your ability to aim then will be out the window. So center mass, even high level players using a vector in factory or whatever, center mass it, because the vertical, well, vector doesn't really have vertical, it horizontal, but it goes shoulders. It'll be the width of the shoulders pretty much. The horizontal excuse me, the horizontal movement will be shoulder width. So you aim center mass, it'll get the whole body. The worse vertical you got, the more center mass you got to do in head. So obviously not 30 bullets all in one go, but if you are in a pinch and you scav in front of you and you're worried, just hold that mouse down until they drop. There is no issue with living from a raid spending bullets. Why would you want to die in a raid not having spent bullets? You don't get them back in insurance. Instead of spending bullets and living. Oh, my accuracy is like 10%, but I lived. Oh, my accuracy is 80%, but you died. So who cares? So yeah, old and new players, think about where you shoot, what you shoot, and how you shoot. It is not an ego game. It is a very unfair game. It is not a game that allows you to just, I'm going to this raid and I'm going to record this. Or I'm going to look cool on YouTube or TikTok because of this. It is an unfair game with unfair players who don't play in any sort of fashion that actually doesn't cause rage. 90% of the player base, not necessarily overall, but 90% of the player base you'll probably be in the raid with, raid to raid, will do whatever it takes to not die. Most of the time, that is either being overgeared, like in factory or interchange, or sit in a corner and shoot you either near an exfil, near a crossover, near some questing point, depending on the period of the raid, or event. And use events to your advantage. If you don't think you can do the event, you don't want to do the event, someone's going to be doing the event, and more than likely a lot of content creators will be pushing the event and getting likes and clicks and BSG promoting the odd one, which is good. I'm not knocking that. The BSG promoting someone obviously will get more people wanting to do the event or something. But also, more people will be in a specific location. Go shoot them. You don't want to do the quest, they do. Put a bullet in their head. You win. So on that nice note, there is no problem with rat. I don't sit in a corner and do anything. But if you have a quest that's to shoot 100 meters away, you have to rat or get lucky. Or 250 or 185, or you're trying to do a whole street shot just for TikTok or whatever. You're sitting in a corner for most of that raid, and there's no problem with that. Sitting at an exit is probably the lowest player you could be. There's still no issue with that. It's not against any rules, but most people will get really raged with you. But part of the game. So on that, remember, bullets beat players. More bullets on players beat players better. But I will catch you next time, and thanks for checking it out. Bye bye.